All right, guys. We've been hoodwinked twice in a row. Maybe just me. But with these kind of dispatches they did prior to DefenseCon this week and everything, they showed both the M80 and then now the Anvil Odin with no weapons or less weapons. And then now we find out there's more. So as you can see here, we'll go over quickly with the Anvil Odin here. You know, it looks like no real visible weapons on here. Maybe just these missile banks that we saw here and kind of here as well that we talked about in the last video. Yeah, turns out there's a lot more, and we actually got a 3D render of this that this Zyka guy made on Sketchfab, so we'll check that out now. But yeah, here's the Anvil Odin in all its glory here. Obviously, this is not 100% in the way, but just from what people have got from the 3D kind of hologram they have over top of Area 18 right now in the PTU. But as you can see, there's a shitload of guns here. Yeah, we're not messing around with this guy here. You know, Odin is the Allfather, and you know, at the end of the day, he's gonna run it down. You can see here at the bottom, like 3 massive cannons there, probably pretty similar to the Bengal one that's on the bottom as well on those ships. So it's probably going to be its main damage as well on the top here. Another tri-cannon at the top as well. Cool section here is just kind of having the smaller looking, you know, anti-fighter repeaters at the top here around kind of the main bridge, which is pretty cool. But we'll look in a second here, but you can see the missile tubes here. Most likely is what kind of connects to the ones we saw in the sneak peek, which I'll pull up here just below. As you can see here, you know, this is almost 100% sure this is the Anvil Odin, and this is its kind of missile bay that's in the center. And I guess this seat would probably go up right to that top main gun right here, and then all those missiles are like hiding within underneath, and then they launch up and out through these tubes and then kind of do an attack angle that comes up and over. So you know, the firepower on this thing's gonna be crazy, probably size 10s, 12s, or something crazy like that. And it also looks like on the side here that there's, I'm not entirely sure, but maybe snub fighters or smaller little fighters can kind of be on the side for hangar bay. So if you got, say, 3 on that side, 3 on this side, like, you know, obviously not a carrier like, you know, the Bengal would be and stuff, but still be able to house some small fighters to help out too. So pretty crazy, but definitely excited to see this thing in action. You know, that's obviously going to be a couple years for this one, but when it does come, it's going to be quite the change to Star Citizen. Another thing I just wanted to add, just kind of as a little bit of a PSA kind of thing. On Wednesday, when 4.8 is going live, there's also going to be a partial wipe. So just want to give you guys a heads up. There's really not a huge amount that you can kind of do to prepare for this, in the sense that literally all in-game purchasable stuff for the most part, resources, items, vehicles, anything purchased with AUEC, and any balances that you have of AUEC is essentially going to be wiped. So just want to let you guys know, they're like, you know, for the most part, like, unless you've done things with Wicklow and getting actual vehicles through that, or blueprints, you'll keep those, which is good. So if you've grinded any of those, you're not going to be losing them, as far as we know. You know, I'm sure someone else there's going to lose theirs, but you know, for the most part, hopefully it stays true. And then obviously the stuff that you've purchased from the actual website and everything. But just wanted to add that in the end too as well. Thanks again for watching, and have fun out there in the verse.